sit up the inside.
If we could avoid each other, we tried.
So close to Rossi as he goes past.
C'ha paura, era veramente veloce, mamma mia.
Oh, Rossi's got him back on the brakes.
Correct is used in brackets.
Every ingredient was in the right place.
Can Rossi invent something though?
Non c'è spazio qui!
If you can do that, do on the last lap.
Over the top they go. Rossi goes through. Rossi has the advantage.
And Rossi's world champion from 1997. It's Rossi on the Yamaha. He is the world champion. He is the winner.
Valentino Rossi wins the African Grand Prix. Valentino Rossi wins the race. Lorenzo comes across the line now. He's done it. Jorge Lorenzo, the 20-year-old from Mallorca, is in pole position in his very, very first MotoGP qualifying session. That would be an incredible start to his MotoGP career.
I remember I had a small chat with Valentino, and he said, oh, it's going to be always like that, because he was even impressive, because, well, you know, on this bike it's not easy to get the pole position just in the first race in your life.
I understand very, very quick that I know that Lorenzo was fast.
Jorge è arrivato nel 2008, faceva paura, era veramente veloce, mamma mia, ho detto, sto ragazzino qua, da dove arriva questo? Chi è questo? Questo va fortissimo. E quindi da battere era tosto.
When the new rider arrived and in the first race got the pole position and the finish on the podium, for sure the first rider becomes more alert.
I was quite angry with Yamaha because Yamaha think that they need a newcomer, they need a very strong rival.
If you remember, around 2006, Valentino was, he went testing Ferrari Formula One, and the idea, our idea inside Yamaha was that Valentino would have gone to Formula One in 1 or 2 years.
Formula One were desperate for him to move there. I mean, Bernie Ecclestone was the supremo in Formula One at the time, and I think he knew that Valentino was such a massive character, huge personality, huge charisma.
So we started to think, if Valentino leaves, what are we going to do?
So they thought about me. He didn't like it, but finally Yamaha say we need to think also about the future, not only about the present, and they hired me.
I said, fuck, why? So I bet on Yamaha in 2004 when Yamaha was very slow, and we won a lot of championships together. I don't deserve Jorge Lorenzo as a teammate. I need a little bit less, you know?
He didn't like it, as is normal, no? As it's a human feeling. You always want to protect your territory and your status.
Normally the number one rider or the king was the king. The generation that was Danny, Pedrosa, Stoner, Jorge, they didn't respect the position, respect in the sports side. And this is something that was new for Valentino.
The man of the moment. He's 20 years old. Jorge Lorenzo is dropped to third as Rossi makes his charge. He's on the Bridgestones, Valentino Rossi. Jorge Lorenzo is on the Michelin.
Once Jorge showed that he could be a real rival for the title, you know, then each side became, you know, fierce competitors with each other.
You could really taste the tension there was in that Yamaha team. The riders divided from a wall. Everything was far. Valentino was far from Lorenzo, and Lorenzo was far from Valentino.
In reality, it was two teams. There were two team managers. I was in charge of Valentino, and then there was another team manager in charge of Lorenzo. We're like two teams separated. The rivalry built up a lot.
Jorge Lorenzo now into the chicane. Lorenzo stuffs it up the inside of Valentino Rossi, and Lorenzo takes over in the Portuguese Grand Prix.
Double 250cc world champion. He opens his account in MotoGP. He wins the Portuguese Grand Prix here in Estoril.
There was clearly and obvious tension from the outside looking in, that it was very much a kind of them and us feel.
They were tough, but they were also quite correct, I think. Correct is used in brackets or in speech marks.
There was an internal fight, let's say. It's not as been easy. No, not at all.
There's always a little bit of extra tension, you know, a little bit competition, and you feel it from your riders.
We just speak when we didn't have any option. When we were in the event together and we were 1 meter from each other, we say, okay, hello, how are you? But if we could avoid each other, we tried our best to avoid each other, no?
In 2009, for all the season we were there. Our speed was identical sometimes.
Lorenzo goes up into second ahead of Rossi, but watch out for the world champion Valentino Rossi, the man who's won here for the last 7 seasons.
I saw the data, and we have a different style, but at the end of the lap is always zero, fuck. So it's difficult, and especially Barcelona, it was his Jorge home Grand Prix. But on the other hand, Barcelona is one of my favorite tracks. So,
Round 6 of the MotoGP World Championship here at the magnificent Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona.
We arrived into the Montmeló, very equal in the points.
every practice, if you see from FP1, was FP1 first Jorge, second me. FP2 first me, second Jorge.
Crosses the line now.
Top he goes, half a second quicker. A 1:43.038 from Valentino Rossi.
FP3 first Jorge. And pole position of Jorge, but from I think 57 milli. 0.57, nothing.
Jorge Lorenzo in pole position at his home Grand Prix, pushes Valentino Rossi off the top spot.
So that race was very important because arriving second again, it would have meant that Jorge stepped up like a first rider of the team. Winning for us, it means, I know, we are still there.
There was the race, and then there was a bigger race of who will be the next champion rider for the next 5 years. Will it be the young Lorenzo? Will he be the guy? So there was two things happening there, that particular race and the total for the future.
And started probably one of the best races in all the history because the competitivity between both of us as a teammates was perfect, no?
Same bike, same performance, same potential, both loving this circuit.
As a sport event, a special one between two champions, between two rivals, between two teammates, every ingredient was in the right place.
25 laps, the Circuit de Catalunya are underway. Rossi's really good here. Let's see if he's going to try and take Lorenzo at turn 1. I bet he is.
He's got to, I'm sure he will, because he looks a lot stronger at the end on the brakes, and he does. He goes through. Valentino Rossi now leads. He's taking the fight to his teammate and rival Jorge Lorenzo.
The half race, I tried to escape.
And here's going to be a move from Jorge Lorenzo. He goes up on the inside, and Valentino Rossi, listen to the crowd.
He tried to escape.
2 laps to go, 200 miles
Here
an hour.
he comes.
Here comes Lorenzo up the inside.
Oh, and he goes so close to Rossi as he goes past, and Lorenzo claims the lead.
Oh, Rossi's got him back on the brakes into turn 1. Round the outside, Rossi runs in a little bit wide, but he makes it stick.
But we understand that is the last lap.
Here he comes down the straight. Jorge Lorenzo's going to go through, and he's gone through on Valentino Rossi. Is he going to take the lead? He does.
Made it stick this time round. Rossi trying to go around the outside, then on the inside of the right-hander. Here comes Rossi up the inside. Rossi retakes the lead. Valentino Rossi, but now he's lost it again. Lorenzo leads the way.
I remember Jorge coming into the stadium section.
Lorenzo's carried a lot of speed out of turn 9, and there's no way through there. Valentino Rossi, and Lorenzo pushing it so hard in there. And Lorenzo's going to hang on to it. He said to me before this weekend, if you go into these corners first, you know you're going to win the race. Can Rossi invent something, though?
You thought, he's done it. Chapeau, he's done it.
Jorge was same as everybody, thinking, okay, if you can arrive leading the 10, you're going to get the race.
Well, with 13 to go, Lorenzo still leads the way. Rossi very close indeed. They plunge down the hill.
Jorge did a mistake because from the bike I understand that he relaxed a little bit. He said, okay. But in my mind, I think that it was not impossible on the last corner, because in 2007 I did the same overtake to Stoner.
We're on board with Valentino Rossi. Rossi up the inside, round the right-hander. That's an incredible overtaking maneuver from Valentino Rossi.
So I think maybe I have another chance.
But to be honest with Valentino, the day before, we thought about the last corner. We say, if you can do that, do on the last lap, not show before.
Rossi very close indeed. They plunge down the hill. We ride with Valentino Rossi. Lorenzo now into turn 13.
And Rossi invented something in the final corner, but Lorenzo gets close to the back.
Ale ha avuto questo lampo di genio di entrare all'ultima curva, di non farla in terza, ma di farla in seconda, quindi togliere una marcia, perché almeno è riuscito a fermarle la moto, e quando ha dato il gas è uscito più forte. Che dire.
¡Qué carrera! Se quiere meter, se acerca muchísimo Valentino. Le queda la entrada, se mete por el interior. Vamos a ver, coge la cabeza de carrera. Valentino, atención, casi se toca. Victoria de Valentino Rossi.
Jorge was not expecting this overtook, and then he forgot to close the door in the last corner, because normally it's the point that nobody get in.
È durissimo Lorenzo davanti, Rossi dietro, non c'è spazio qui, troppo vicino. Bravi, ce la fa, è entrato, non ci credo, non ci posso credere.
No, ce l'ha fatta, non ci posso credere nemmeno io, è impossibile.
Bravo, Rossi c'è.
He brake more strong and later than me, and I have more corner speed. So finally we were very equal, and finally he beat me because I was inexperienced. He was a better breaker and have much more experience and much more lucidity to understand what to do in these two last corners, no?
What a motorcycle race! What a Grand Prix!
This was the most adrenalinic moment, because the last corner of the last lap in a race like this, after a weekend like this, after a season like this, is something that you have to write, somebody have to write, you know? If not, it's impossible. And it was a great moment.
Davide Brivio, Robbie, those guys there, and Matteo and Ucho and Max, very emotional Italian, you know. And we were happy.
We were all crazy in the garage. Also me, I was completely happy. Somebody in the other side of the garage was very unhappy.
His team celebrated much more than they won the championship, just for one victory.
And the other side of the garage, Lorenzo, took it bad, this celebration. But this was a misunderstanding in reality, because Valentino side celebrate because it was a win. It was a win when you think you're not going to win.
From that moment, I can say that something changed in the team. Yeah. Before was just on the air, but after that moment was really, you could feel very easy that there was something not right.
I remember the Tuesday or Wednesday after, having a big meeting inside the office between the two teams, let's say, the two team manager and whatever, try to calm down the tension. So it was a very tense moment.
In my opinion, that was probably the pass where Lorenzo really learnt to go the next level.
Secondo me, quando hai due piloti così forti, tutti e due si aiutano l'uno con l'altro per crescere e tutto il team cresce. Quindi sicuramente è stato importante, sia Jorge per Vale che Vale per Jorge.
And those two just pushed each other to another level. You know, Lorenzo had the skill to push Valentino, and Valentino had the skill to push Jorge. I mean, they pushed each other to a level that probably with another teammate they wouldn't have actually achieved. So yeah, they probably didn't like it, but they did each other quite a big favour, to be honest.
Barcelona 2009 has been a key win to open the door and to win the championship.